Hi guys, so I'm back with another tutorial. This is a purple halo smoky eye. I just bought the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette and I really wanted to try this out. I hope you like this look. If you would like to know how I created it, then please keep watching. So the first thing I will do is prime my eyes as normal. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Eye Basics. This one is in Tawny. So I'm just going to use the doe foot applicator and I'm just going to pop a little bit onto the mobile lid, and I'm just going to use my ring finger just to blend that out. So I'm just going to smooth it all over the lid and then up towards the crease. So for my brows, I'm just going to use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and this one is in Ebony. I'm just going to use that on a Laura Mercier angled brow brush. It's quite a stiff brush, so it just allows me to place the product quite precisely, but also blend it all out. So I'm just going to start at the base towards the front of the brow. I'm just smoothing the product through the brows, and then I'm just going to sort of create kind of feather-like strokes, really, just to build up the brow. My brows are actually microbladed. They have faded a little bit, but I'm going to get a top up soon. But I just need a little bit of product through them just to give them a little bit more shape and definition. So to start the eye shadow, I'm just going to use a little bit of the Laura Mercier gel eyeliner in Violet, and I'm just using that on a sort of flat shaded brush, really. I'm just popping that onto the inner corner of the eye and the outer corner of the eye, and that's just to give us a little bit of a base, and that's something for the darker shadows to adhere to and for it to look a little bit more vibrant. And here I've just taken a 217 and I'm just using that to blend out that gel liner that I've just popped down, just to create a bit more of a softer appearance. I've just taken MAC's Fig 1, and this is like a purple eyeshadow. It's not too dark, it's not too light, and I'm just using that to place over where I put the violet gel eyeliner. Just doing that with a 239, and I'm just using that to sort of pat that on. And I've just taken the same 217 and I'm just smoking that out a little bit, so just feathering out that colour so it's a little bit more soft and graduated. So for the transition colour, I'm just going to use a little bit of Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. It's a matte warm brown eyeshadow with a sort of red undertone, and I'm just using that on a large ponytail brush. This is by Laura Mercier, and I'm just using that to work that into the crease. So I've just taken a little bit of Sugarpill's Poison Plum eyeshadow. It's a matte purple eyeshadow and it's just that little bit more brighter, so it's not going to be too dull. And I've just placed that over the top of the Fig 1 eyeshadow and I'm extending that into the middle of the eyelid. So here I'm just taking the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette and I'm just using the purple shade, which is called Magnetic, and I'm just using that on an Illamasqua shader brush, and I've just popped that into the centre of the eyelid where the space was. And now I've just taken the Sugarpill Poison Plum eyeshadow and I'm just using that onto the lower lash line. So what I'm going to do here is create kind of like the same effect. So on the outer corner of the lower lash line and the inner corner of the lower lash line, I'm applying the Poison Plum. And then in the middle of the lash line, I'll use the same Magnetic eyeshadow from the Urban Decay palette, so you'll see me doing that now. So I'm just trying to kind of create that halo effect on the bottom as well. So I'm just pressing on a little bit more of that eyeshadow from the Urban Decay palette, and I've just edged it slightly further up into the lash line. I've just taken MAC's Kohl pencil. This one is in Fascinating, and I'm just using that to pop into the middle of the waterline. And then I'm going to take a dark one, so this is MAC's Feline Kohl pencil, and I'm just going to put that into the outer corner of the waterline and then the inner corner of the waterline. So you're just literally replicating exactly what you've done on the eye lid on the waterline as well. I've just taken the Kevyn Aucoin Central Skin Enhancer now, and I'm just going to clean up underneath the brows. I really wanted the brows to be a little bit more sharper, and I wanted a highlight on the brows, but I didn't necessarily want to use anything shimmery, so I decided to go for just a sort of concealer underneath the brows. And so here I'm just using a little bit of my Laura Mercier gel eyeliner in Noir, and I'm just going to use that to create a winged eyeliner. Nothing too thick, I just really wanted something at the base of the lashes because I'm going to pop on some lashes which are quite sort of thick, so I just wanted something to kind of hide that band of the lashes as such. So I'm just going to create a little bit of a winged eyeliner. So as you can see here, I'm just creating that wing, so it's not going to be anything too dramatic. But it just helps sort of ground the look down. I've just taken a little bit of my L'Oreal mascara and I'm just placing that onto the lashes. I'm not going to put too much mascara because I am putting false lashes on, but I just want to put some to make sure that the eyelashes marry up with my own lashes. I'm just going to pop some onto the bottom lashes as well. So these are the lashes I've used. So the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. Just use them with a bit of Duo Latex. This is the dark latex. And I'm just sort of settling them onto the centre, and then I'm going to tuck the corners in. These are quite sort of thick and quite fluttery. They do weigh down a little bit on the lash line, but once you get used to them, they're absolutely fine. So for my primer today, I'm using the Clarins Beauty Flash Balm, and I'm just using that all over the skin. And I'm just patting it on, and then I'm just going to sort of use these sort of sweeping motions. These are quite sort of gentle motions. The product, if you rub it in too much, it almost starts to flake on the skin. It kind of rubs off the skin because it forms like a matrix. So you have to sort of smooth it into the skin and be quite gentle with it. So if you are using it, just kind of bear that in mind. So for my foundation today, I'm going to use my MAC NC42. This is the Studio Fix foundation. I wanted something that was a little bit more fuller coverage. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to use that to dot all over my face, as you can see, and then I'm just going to use a damp beauty blender just to blend that all out. So as I said, I'm just using a damp beauty blender just to blend that all out, so I'm just bouncing it onto the skin so that we get a maximum sort of coverage, and I'm just going to use that all over the skin and taking it down over the jawline and in any areas that I think need a little bit more coverage. So for underneath the eyes, I use a little bit of MAC's Prep and Prime. This is the peach one, and I've just used that under my eyes and just a little bit on the bridge of the nose. And I'm just using the Real Techniques mini eraser sponge just to really blend that out. I think I love this sponge. It's an amazing sponge. I think it's like an eraser sponge, but I actually use it to apply my concealer. So for my concealer, I use a little bit of the MAC Select Cover Concealer. This is the one in the tube, and this one is in NW35. What I'm then going to do is I'm just going to place a little bit of the Kevyn Aucoin Central Skin Enhancer. This one is in SX08. It's just the shade I generally tend to use. And I've just kind of used that to sort of mix it in. The Select Cover Up does sort of set quite quickly, so you need to be kind of quick if you are working with that particular concealer. So I'm just using that to sort of press that underneath the eyes. And now I'm just going to set everything into place with my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just using my beauty blender just to press that powder into the skin, and I'm just using it pretty much all over the skin. I'm just using the Anastasia contour powder. This one is in Carob. I'm using it on a MAC stipple brush, and I'm just using that towards the back of the cheekbones, and then just lightly sort of dragging the colour towards the corner of the mouth as such, almost in that sort of direction, and I'm trying to sort of lift it upwards to create a more lifted effect. I'm just using the same powder now underneath the jawline just to give us a little bit of help here. And I'm just going to use the same powder now on my massive forehead. So this kind of just gives the illusion that the forehead is a bit smaller. So I'm just using that translucent powder now just to clear up the contour. So I don't want it too sharp, but it's just to sort of clean it up a little bit. So for my highlight, I'm just using the Mary Luminizer. This one is by the Balm Cosmetics, and I'm just using that with the Real Techniques setting brush, popping that onto the tops of the cheekbones. For my blush, I'm using Laura Mercier's Creme blush. This one is Praline, and it's like a cream texture, so it gives a little bit more shine to the skin and it doesn't make the skin look too flat. So I've done 2 lip combos for this. This is MAC's Spice Lip Liner, and I'm just using that to outline my lips. And then I'm going to use a slightly sort of similar colour, lip colour. The one I'm using is by Gerard Cosmetics, and this is the lip colour. It's called Everything Nice, and I'm just using that to obviously fill the rest of my lips in. It's like a peachy sort of brown kind of colour. It's quite a sort of nudish colour. So that's the finished look with lip combo number 1 as such, so a sort of slightly lighter lip. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a dark lip now. So I've just taken MAC's Vino and Gerard Cosmetics Ruby Slippers Hydro Matte Lipstick. I'm just using the MAC lip liner now just to line my lips, just so that we get a more sort of perfect lip line. I'm just using that to create a slightly sort of larger lip line as well. And so now I'm just going to use the Ruby Slippers Hydro Matte Lipstick. This one is by Gerard Cosmetics, and I'm just using that to fill the rest of the lip line in now. I'm just going to sort of make sure that it sort of blends in with that lip liner as well. And yeah, I mean, I prefer it with the darker lip colour. I prefer darker lip colours, especially in the winter, but you can wear it with whichever lip colour you want, whether you want to go pale or dark, it's entirely up to you. So that concludes our look for today. I really hope you liked it. I really like the halo eye. I think it's really pretty. If you did like it, please press on the like button, press on that subscribe button, and post any comments that you have in the link below. If you want to follow any of my posts, I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll leave the link for you in the description box. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.